Welcome to day one of our brand new 30-day challenge here on Boundless English. I'm Jade.
And I'm Alex. And this challenge is a little different from anything we've done before.
It is, because for the next 30 days, we're tackling English grammar, but not the boring way. No worksheets, no rules to memorize, just real conversation, showing you exactly how native speakers actually use these words.
And today's word, or should I say words, have caused me more confusion than almost anything else in English.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Be, been, being. 3 tiny words. They look almost the same, and for years I genuinely could not tell you which one to use when.
You are absolutely not alone. This is one of the most common points of confusion for English learners at every level. Even advanced learners sometimes hesitate here.
Tell me I'm not the only one who has said, I am being tired, instead of I am tired.
Ha! You are definitely not the only one. That is actually one of the most common mistakes I hear. So today, we are fixing this completely. By the end of this episode, be, been, and being will never confuse you again.
I am ready.
Let's start with be.
The simplest one, right?
The simplest in form, yes. Be is the base form of the verb, the one you find in the dictionary. We use it after words like to, will, can, must, and should.
So I want to be a better speaker. She will be here soon.
You must be joking. Exactly. Notice be comes after a helping word. It never changes form. It is always just be. What about commands? Be quiet. Be careful. Perfect examples. Direct instructions also use the base form. Be honest with me. Be yourself.
So if I am giving advice or making a request, I often use be directly.
Exactly. Let's try a few together. Finish this. If you want to succeed, you have to...
Be patient.
Perfect. Another. Whatever happens, just...
Be yourself.
See how natural that feels already? Be is your go-to after helping verbs and in direct instructions.
Okay, now the one that confused me for years. Been.
Been is the past participle of be, and it only appears with have, has, or had. Never alone.
So I been there is wrong?
Completely wrong, even though you will hear it casually sometimes. The correct form is always I have been there, or I've been there, using the contraction.
Have been or has been or had been?
Exactly. She has been a teacher for 10 years. We had been waiting for an hour before the bus arrived. I have been to London twice.
So been describes an experience or a state that connects to have.
Precisely. It often describes something that happened in the past but is still relevant now, or describes a completed experience. I have been to Paris. At some point in my life, this happened, and it is part of my experience now.
Let me try. I have been so busy this week.
Perfect. Has been or have been plus an adjective is one of the most common patterns in English. He has been sick. They have been very supportive. I've been thinking about this a lot.
I've been thinking about this a lot? I say that constantly, actually. I didn't even realize I was using been correctly already.
You probably are in a lot of everyday phrases. The trick now is just understanding why it works.
Give me a tricky one to test myself.
Complete this. Where you been all day?
Where have you been all day?
Perfect. That is one of the most common questions in English. And now you know exactly why been is correct there. It follows have.
Been always needs its partner. It never goes anywhere alone.
Beautifully put. Now, being. The trickiest of the 3.
This is the one that confuses me most. When do I actually use being?
Being is the ing form. We use it in 2 main situations. First, when describing an action happening right now, in progress, especially around behavior. You're being very kind today. He's being difficult.
So being describes how someone is behaving temporarily, right now.
Exactly. She's being so patient with the new employee means right now, in this moment, she is showing patience. It's about behavior, not a permanent trait.
What's the difference between she is patient and she is being patient?
Wonderful question. She is patient? This describes her personality, a permanent characteristic. She is being patient. Right now, in this specific situation, she is showing patience, even if it's not always her natural personality.
So, if my friend is usually quite impatient, but today, for some reason, they are calm and understanding,
You would say, "You're being so patient today," because it's temporary, situational behavior, not their usual nature.
That distinction is genuinely so helpful. I never understood that before.
And the second major use of being, after prepositions, or as part of a longer phrase describing an ongoing state. Being late is something I really want to avoid. Being a parent is hard work. There's no point in being upset about it.
So being can act almost like a noun there, describing the general act or state of something.
Exactly right. Being honest is important to me. Here, being honest is functioning almost like a topic, the act of honesty itself.
Let me try one. Being confident in English takes practice.
Perfect example. Being confident is the subject of that sentence, describing the general state or quality.
This is starting to click for me now, genuinely.
Let's put all three together so you can hear the contrast clearly. I want to be more confident. I have been working on my confidence. I am being more confident today than yesterday.
Be, the base form, after helping words or commands. Been, the past participle, always paired with have, has, or had. Being, describing temporary behavior or used as a noun-like form.
Exactly. Let's do a quick practice round. I'll give you a sentence with a blank, and you choose the right word.
ready.
She has always wanted to blank a doctor.
Be, because it follows wanted to, which is like a helping structure.
Perfect. Next, I have never blank so nervous in my life.
Been, because it follows have.
Excellent. One more. Why are you blank so quiet today? You're usually so talkative.
Being, because it's describing temporary behavior, right now, not generally.
Flawless. You've completely got it.
I genuinely feel like something just clicked that has confused me for years.
That is exactly the goal of this challenge. 1 grammar point a day, understood deeply, not just memorized.
Friends, if this episode helped you finally understand be, been, and being, please subscribe to Boundless English and like this video. And comment "Ben" below to let us know you're taking this challenge with us. We will read every single comment.
Let's do one more practice round. A real conversation using all three naturally.
Okay, imagine someone asks me, "How's work been going?"
Go ahead and answer.
Work has been really busy lately. I've been trying to be more organized, but honestly, some days I'm just being completely overwhelmed.
That was excellent. 3 correct uses of be, been, and being in one natural answer. That is exactly how a fluent English speaker would talk.
I didn't even have to think about it that time. It just came out.
That's what happens once the pattern is understood, not just memorized. Let's recap everything from today.
Be, the base form, used after helping verbs like will, can, must, should, and to. Also used in direct commands. Be careful. I want to be better.
Been, the past participle, always paired with have, has, or had, never alone. I have been. She has been. We had been.
And being describes temporary behavior happening right now, or acts almost like a noun describing a state or action. You're being kind. Being honest matters to me.
3 small words, 1 clear system, and now you have it.
Today's task, use all three correctly in one sentence, just like I did a moment ago. Say it out loud. Write it in the comments if you'd like.
Comment BEEN below to mark day 1 of the challenge complete. Tomorrow, day 2, we are tackling another set of words that trips up almost every English learner. Do, does, and did.
That one is going to be so useful.
See you tomorrow for day 2.
You showed up today.
That's everything. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
See you on day 2.